So we scheduled the Chicago street race. We did the Chicago street race this week. We're actually recording this shortly after. Yeah. It went better overall, but for us, not so good. I'm DJ Flook.
Eric Richardson.
And Takato.
Yes, we are here. And so Eric, we were the bottom two tonight, unfortunately. And I you know what, we got to talk Daytona first, and then
Yeah, let's come back to that.
Yeah,
well,
we got to come
thoughts
back to
gathered.
that. I'm still trying to get everything together. So Daytona was last weekend. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. wins the 500.
First win in 199 races, I believe.
We didn't have a race actually finish of the truck Xfinity and Cup Series. The Xfinity was decided by a photo finish that took 5 minutes. And yeah, I think the truck also finished under caution, but you had repeat winners in the truck series. You had a repeat winner in the Xfinity series. And so, hey, Austin Cindric, and then no, not Austin Cindric's year this year.
No, how about that finish though? They took the white flag at least.
They did.
On attempt number 2.
They showed one of the spotters. They played a clip and it was Keselowski's, which he's a big iRacing guy. What's his name? TJ. I want to say TJ Majors. I'm like brain is fried tonight, but they played the clip of him, directing Brad right before the wreck. He's like, they're gonna wreck here, and like 10 seconds later, yeah, he called it. So yeah, I think the spotter stand knew that was about to happen.
Yeah, overall it'd been a pretty good race up until we got to the very end.
First stage was pretty uneventful. It was just kind of 2x2. There were one, I think, what was it? Ty Dillon had some troubles. Nothing too exciting. Yeah, and then stage 2 it picked up. Did break the record for the longest as far as distance goes. What was it? 200 and
212.
212, 213. Yeah, so
I'm not sure that's a proud record.
no, that's we get into this whole thing where like Indianapolis last year, they red flag, it's like, we're going to do 200 laps and we are going to red flag. And what did they do? They ran 2 or something like that at the end.
Maybe
2 or 3. Yeah. But they pulled out the red flag. And I remember there was this big dramatic moment where the camera's watching the flag stand. And all of a sudden you just see the flag man just with the red flag, just proudly hold it up. And the crowd goes nuts. I'm like, I've never seen a crowd go nuts for a red flag before. But it gave them a finish. It was a good finish too. But Stenhouse took his trophy to Waffle House afterwards, which
that was hilarious. Yeah, it's right by the track there. If it's one I think you went to.
Yeah, I think so. And Brad Doherty got his first Daytona win. Good for him.
Yeah, congrats.
I don't know. I mean, that's I don't know. That's super speedway off to Fontana. Not forecast as of now is not looking good for the weekend. I knew this, but I had to be reminded of it this week that I guess when it rains, it takes a very long time to dry that track. And we have forecasted rain Friday, Saturday, and a little bit Sunday morning.
That could make it a little dicey. And it is not one of the tracks that they are going to run wet tires and wipers on.
I'm still bummed that they're ripping that track apart. Last year, that track gave one of the best races of the season. And then they're going to go
fun to see what happens this year.
And then they're going to go and rip it apart and turn it into a large, clash track. I don't like it. I mean, I understand, attendance. I think it's been dwindling. Fontana's in kind of a weird area. of Los Angeles. There's not like a good way to get to Fontana, but still it frankly it sucks that they're ripping the track apart, but is what it is.
Yeah, we'll see how that race goes. Let's see if the streak from last year continues of just a new winner every single week, it seems.
Yeah, it's been a while. What was it? 2017 for Stenhouse was his last one.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
He had been becoming an afterthought in the series, and kind of like, how much longer is this guy going to be around? And winning the Daytona 500 tends to help keep your career going. There's always the people like, yeah, it's a super speedway, it's a plate race, anyone could win that race. Like, yeah, well, he did. Kyle Busch
I'm
hasn't won
gonna
that
look it
race.
up here.
Terry Labonte never won that race, as you learned on my stadium scene trivia earlier this week. Mark Martin never won the race. Ricky Rudd never
If
won the race.
I believe if Kyle Busch goes one or two more attempts without winning, he will tie Earnhardt
Well,
for
so
or if he can win it here in a
yeah, so
couple.
Earnhardt didn't even have the longest like winless streak there. Dale Senior, that is. So the most starts of the Daytona 500 without a win is held by NASCAR journeyman Dave Marcus. And he raced forever. Like, he ran 33 races, including, it was 32 years in a row, never won the race. Like, I don't think he was ever really competitive most of those years. But he ran 33 times. Terry Labonte ran 32 times. You know what? I'm going to pull it up here just because, again, my brain is fried for the week.
So just a quick trivia here. Stenhouse last one at Daytona in what would have been the summer race
Yep, that's right.
in
Okay.
2017.
I mean, I already gave you guys the answer, but the stadium scene trivia question this week was, which of these NASCAR legends has made the most Daytona 500 starts without a win? Was it A, Rusty Wallace, B, Terry Labonte, C, Ricky Rudd, or D, Mark Martin? And I already told you the answer a few minutes ago. Otherwise, I would have, but that's quite a list of, never won that race.
And some of the winners that are on that list are
Trevor
just
Bayne
as
comes to mind
surprising.
immediately. Um,
What McDowell won there?
McDowell, that was a right place at the right time at a caution flag. But I mean,
Cindric
when
pulling
that when
through
that
last year.
happened, when that happened with McDowell, and he was right there, it's like, wow, like a photo finish is going to decide who wins this race, and everyone's like, oh, come on, it's got to be McDowell. You got to give it to him. Got to give it to him. And that did so much for his confidence. Like, I mean, he was kind of I don't want to say a running joke, because, you got to be good to get up there to begin with. But I mean, he was always the guy who was running 30th, 36th, always like way off the pace. But, the last 2 years or so, he's been running a lot of top tens. He's been up towards the front in a lot of races, and then not just because of, a strange pit strategy. I mean, he's been
He's been
good.
competitive.
He's been quietly good. But for those that didn't see the trivia or already forgot, Rusty Wallace had 23 starts without a win. Ricky Rudd and Mark Martin had 29, and Terry Labonte had 32. Oh, man.
So another thing I want to point out from this race, how about Travis Pastrana? He was running in what, sixth or eighth
Yeah. Yeah. He
at
had
that last restart and almost got through, but he ended up getting clipped by Almirola, which triggered that last big one that led to Stenhouse's win.
one of my friends actually was pulling up his sports betting app, and he's like, I just threw, a couple bucks on Almirola. It was like a plus 450 or something like that. And like, he's not going to win. I'm just like, no way, he's not going to win. And then sure enough, he causes the big accident.
Yeah, luckily all drivers walked away from that one. It took a little bit to find out, but Kyle Larson had a very eerily reminiscent crash
Yeah.
to somebody in 2001.
Here's one. 2002 Daytona 500. You'll never get who won that.
I feel like I should remember who this one was. Taka, were you even born yet? You're still a baby.
I was. Luckily, I was. But I was 2001. I would either be 1 years old or not
So,
one
like,
years old.
you're not even old enough to remember watching Dale Earnhardt die. Like, that's just ugh.
Nope.
I mean, we were in high school when that happened. I'll give you a hint. It is um the let's just say he's the less famous brother of a, we'll say, maybe not an all-time great, but was a great driver in the Cup Series for many years.
Cheetah, I was looking it up. I was going to say one of the Burtons.
Yes, and it was not Jeff. It was his older brother Ward.
Yeah, when you said that, that's the first family that came to mind.
Derek Cope won the 1990 race. And Derek Cope was running like Xfinity series like up until like a couple of years ago. And
Who is it? Todd Bodine is still out running.
didn't Todd retire after last year though?
Even he kept going for a good while.
Yeah, Derek Cope ran in the 2021 Daytona 500. He's in his mid 60s now. Man, you know what? Speaking of older drivers, Morgan Shepherd. Remember him?
Oh yeah.
He is 81 years old. He last raced in the Cup Series in 2014. He'll be 82 this year. So that would have put him into his 73 or so. Yeah, so he was driving in the Cup Series at New Hampshire at 73 years old.
So Todd Bodine did retire after the last season to get up to 800 starts in NASCAR.
That's crazy. Oh yeah.
That's wild.
So Morgan Shepherd ran in the 2019 Indiana 250 at IRP. Or I'm sorry, that wasn't at IRP. That was at the Speedway. Yeah, so he ran the Xfinity series in 2019. I don't want to like sound horrible here, but if you knew a guy was driving a car, what, like 100, around Indianapolis in an Xfinity car, what, 160, 170 maybe?
Yeah, probably 170 at the end of the straights.
You got a 79-year-old guy driving 170 miles an hour. Oh my God. I can't even imagine what the other drivers were thinking about that. I mean, he was obviously a good driver.
I just hope my reaction time's that good when I'm that old.
Yeah, no kidding. But anyway, Wednesday Night Dash, Chicago Street Race. There's a bottle of alcohol or a couple bottles of alcohol during the scheduling Zoom meeting we had where we decided what the schedule was going to be. We saw that NASCAR was making this track a reality, and we laughed and said, we have to put this on the schedule for the next gen. People are going to hate it, but the drivers are going to hate it. I don't think it was too bad. We didn't have great turnout tonight, which there's some weather going across the country. A few people miss here and there for work, unfortunately, but
so
I don't
know if you have your Discord pulled up, but I actually just saw one of our drivers come across and say he slept through the race.
Oh no! Oh,
Hunter. We
Oh
missed you out there, Hunter.
no. Oh man. Or
We
like,
missed
where's
you there tonight,
Hunter?
bud.
Oh, jeez. I can't believe that. There's some breaking news for the episode.
Yeah.
Wow. Ah.
I don't know. I might have still actually slept through today if I could.
Well, let's just, so it is a tough track.
It's tough.
It's tough. It's very bumpy. You run out of space. If you try to make an aggressive move on cold tires, it's not going to go well for you. I made the strategic decision to hang out in the back, stay far enough back that I'm like, I've got a good reaction time when everybody takes everybody out. And I'm just going to be like, do, 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 do. And I'm going to Sunday drive past everybody when they take each other out. And excuse me. And win the race because I'll be 2 laps up on everybody after their toe and meatball repair. That pipe dream happened in not in reality. And in the end, I was the one who wrecked on turn 1. And yeah, I was basically out of it after 3/4 of a lap, we'll say.
Yeah, you weren't totally out of it. You did not finish in dead last.
That was a little surprising. I was just kind of hanging out there. I'm like, let's just get as many laps as I can. And then yeah, you ran into some trouble.
Yeah, it just went from bad to worse. Got a little squirrely off the last turn, caught the retaining barrels on the pit wall and went to the inside. So went ahead and pitted. I'm like, oh, you know what? Let's take fresh tires, get a little bit of grip. Although tire fall off wasn't really that bad tonight.
I don't think it was really necessary.
And
I just had some damage I wanted to clean up, and I took tires anyway.
I didn't run anything long enough to see what tires would do, and then got out and was trying to push probably too much and ended up dumping it 3 times in the last 10 laps.
So I'm pulling up the results here from tonight because one thing I didn't look at. So Taka, you were the only one of the the 3 of us who've seen the broadcast. You watched it live.
Yeah.
What was the general like atmosphere? Like I haven't seen it yet. So I mean this is gonna be a surprise to me when I watch it tomorrow. Like how much of it was, hey, look at me way back there? Like, I mean, was it mostly on Tyler? How did that go?
He did a pretty good job of scanning the whole field. Like when Eric was running pretty high up in 4th place, third or 4th, he's like, oh, we got to show some love to him. Oh, what happened to DJ? He's at the very end. He's in the pits now. Tyler's running 45 seconds ahead of everyone. Colton wiped out, or he didn't wipe out. Mark passed him, and then he kind of just couldn't stay with Mark, and Mark just took off.
Mark had a really good run. I mean, he finished.
Yeah, he did. He was second.
He finished 43 seconds back at Tyler, but I mean, so here's the incident count for tonight. So Tyler had 2. He had kind of a hard lick. I was in the Discord chat and I heard him. He's like, "Oh man, I just did what you did, DJ." He had a pretty hard lick, but he said the car was still driving straight and he kept on going. Mark had a 4 incident count. Mark had a 4 incident count. Brian had a 4. I had an 8. Eric had a 16. Rough night.
Hey, 4 of those I did get rear-ended by Brian.
Did you really?
Going into turn 2 on the first lap. That was probably a little bit earlier on to the brakes on the cold tires. And
yeah.
It wasn't too bad.
Caden and Colton came out of there with 0 incident count.
Wow.
Colton finished on the lead lap, minute 9 back. Caden was a lap down. But Yeah, my fastest lap was at the very end. I was just like, I don't know what it is. Like, I have this psychological thing I need to get over where it's like I'm doing it in practice, and then when you get into the real thing, it doesn't translate from practice to real thing, and it's just, I don't know.
You
It's
know,
just
I at least achieved my goal for tonight.
you
So I
you
can't
walked
say
you
it
walked out of
wasn't a
there with
terrible
the
night.
series lead still, even after.
I'm barely holding on to a series lead. I knew these last two races were probably going to be a little brutal. Not a big fan of Pocono. Definitely, I don't
Oh, I
like
love
road
Pocono.
courses in these cars.
But
But
yeah, next week, New Atlanta, aka Atlanta Super Speedway.
we have a battle for the championship.
We
I think it's what,
certainly do.
3 points and 8 points
It'd be fun
between
to
the top
watch.
three.
Oh, Tyler, it's 6 points for Tyler.
That's the bonus points got added.
Yeah, I had to add the bonus points in at the end. So he got his fastest lap bonus since we didn't have a stage break. And then he got his pole bonus, which that's supposed to be calculating automatically and doesn't. It gave him the lap led. Yeah, he was the only one to lead tonight, which based on, if you watched,
Yeah, he got max points today.
he yeah, he was awesome.
He tore it up.
Yeah, he tore it up.
Yeah, Atlanta's going to be an exciting race,
He's
being on a super speedway.
Tyler's nervous about Atlanta because it's those super speedway type setups. He says he always seems to end up in the wrong place at the wrong time. And 70 laps, New Atlanta, 70 laps, Kansas, 75 laps, Phoenix.
And you know, those are some tracks that I'm going to enjoy.
I'll be heading to Phoenix Raceway for real in a couple of weeks. Excited about that.
Yeah, it's what, first weekend in March, right?
March 11th is going to the Xfinity race again. But I've said this multiple times, but for as much as NASCAR does wrong, the one thing they do such a phenomenal job that other sports should pay attention to is how, for the kids. Well, my kids, they're 5. My twins are 5. They do not like sitting in the stands for an extended period of time, which, they're 5. Can you blame them? But like, you go in and they have the whole kids area. Like when you come in, they've got it's such a sponsor heavy thing, and sponsors are just handing the kids free stuff left and right. And they're walking out of there with a bag like they just went to a toy store. And we did the pit passes. So they had like another kids play area, which there are fewer kids out there because there's not as many with pit passes. So they were there playing on that. And, you're standing on the inside of the track and you got a good view of the dog leg standing over there. So, going down there while the race is on, I can watch the race. My kids can play on the play area and, walk over into the garage. It's a great time. Like it's such a great family outing, whether you like racing or not. It's such a great family outing to take your kids to, minus some of the kind of the goofballs that show up to the race, but it is what it is.
One of the other things I see a lot of too, and you showed me one here earlier in the day, you have a chance to meet Joey Logano.
Yes, yeah, and the outreach
I see
NASCAR
a lot of
does
drivers getting out and visiting sponsors and going and signing autographs for a couple hours. That's great to see.
Oh, it's so nice. Like, one of Daniel Suarez he has like an insurance company sponsor him some of the races, and the company has a big, I don't know if they're based out of Phoenix, but they have a big office here. So he's doing all kinds of things with the sponsors that week. And yeah, Joey Logano is going to be at a Planet Fitness. Man, I'm probably just outed where I live, but whatever. We could take that out in post, but honestly, like Google, you can figure out where I live, whatever. It's not like there's thousands of crazy fans who want to come stand outside my door and meet me, whatever. But yeah, like I'm going to go see Joey Logano probably here in a couple weeks, and good times.
Up some iron with him.
Yeah. We're going to go it's the no judgment zone. So yeah, I haven't been to a gym since my kids were born. So, and Yeah, the gyms are pretty gross to begin. But hey, you know what? Planet Fitness, they do Planet Fitness. They're good gyms. I had a Planet Fitness membership years ago when I still lived in Illinois. It's a good gym. Hey, you want to throw a few sponsor bucks? I will promote the crap out of Planet Fitness or any other gym for that matter.
I do want to give a quick shout out. Thanks to the merch booth for
Yes.
sponsoring
Speaking
the
of
Chicago
sponsors.
race. And I wish I could have brought you a little bit better finish than what I did today. But glad I got your car out there, and it's a
It's a
pleasure
good
running
looking
for
car.
you.
I mean, you made that yourself.
Yes.
This is twice now that you've actually Thomas Costello, who's also Bryant and me, who sponsored the Texas race last year, his other show that he does. So you've made 2 cars for them, and both of them have turned out awesome. Really good looking cars.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun put together. Had fun building that one and seeing how it just came together.
Yeah, it looked super clean. It was even brought up on the announcement or on the broadcast of how
Fun.
nice it looked. So
Yeah, I got some good screenshots of the car that we'll send it over to Ryan and Thomas, and we got to make them a certificate. So we make, for anyone who wants to sponsor a race, please reach out to us. We'll make a car, and it's we I think we keep it pretty reasonable. But well, one of the things we do is we'll give you action shots of your car in the race, and hopefully not getting torn up in a wreck, but we'll get you some good action shots and send you those photos over. But we'll make you a certificate. And I realized like a month after the race was over, and I was just like, oh crap, we forgot to send those to them. But it happens. So we won't forget this time. We'll make them a certificate and send them over their photos. And if you want your logo on on one of our cars or both of our cars, come find us.
Yeah, we'll get it put together for you.
On that note, I think we need to wrap. It's been a long night and it's late on the East Coast. So
yeah, it's still early for me.
Yeah, you're on that. You're on young parent of young child time, which is its own completely different time zone.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll still be up here a little bit later, already turned some laps in Atlanta.
The day that your kid sleeps through the night the first time, where you don't have to wake up and do feeding, you just put them to bed and they sleep through the night, and you go to bed and get 8 normal hours of sleep or 6 or whatever you do. It is the greatest feeling. It is the best night of sleep you will ever have in your life.
Oh,
It's
I
something.
bet.
It's something. So there's, as a parent of young children, the 3 best days when your kid is growing up is, one is the first time they sleep through the night, when you stop buying baby formula, and when you stop buying diapers.
Built-in pay raise.
Indeed.
good to know.
And until they get to preschool, because holy crap, is that expensive. It's like college tuition. I wish I was kidding.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'll tell you after we hit stop. I don't want to say it on the broadcast, but I'll tell you what we're paying to send twins to a preschool or a pre-K, and you'll probably like, wow, I'm glad I only have one. Talk is like, I'm never having kids.
Yeah, I think I'll spend it on computers,
Yeah,
gaming.
what, like when I saw my kids were born when I was, how old am I? I think I was 32 when my kids were born. So yeah, so it's like, when I was your age, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go and buy alcohol and go out and party and buy a new car and all kinds of cool stuff. And then like, all right, kids, here they are. Here we go. Final thoughts?
My dreaded streak or stretch is now
Get that
complete.
out of it. It's like Happy Gilmore. If Shooter doesn't get himself out of this current funk he's in, he's gonna lose out on the gold jacket yet again. Just watched that movie the other night.
As long as nothing unfortunate happens, I've been Atlanta, and I think I've had Kansas maybe as my starred race since the beginning.
Come out there
But
with 2 good finishes. You'll set
yeah,
go
we'll
into
see how it
Phoenix pretty
goes.
good. So
It'll be
FR
fun to
Racing,
watch.
yes, it
Oh,
will be. Taka,
yeah.
again, thank you for stopping
Yeah,
by.
thanks for joining in.
Continued awesome work on the social media front during the broadcasts.
Of course.
And frracingonline.com, at FR Racing Online on all social media and streaming channels. Eric, your swim season's over, so we're gonna start streaming again, other than just this. So
Yeah,
come
should
watch.
be getting some stuff going there, and I guess I'll tease it here. It won't be broadcast, but we got a little open wheel series coming up, so I'd be on the lookout
The
for
behind closed doors open wheel series. Oh, that's what you should have called it. The behind closed door open wheel racing series.
Hey, it's not too late.
Does that spell out anything? Behind closed? No. Never mind. No. Yeah, whatever. So
we could probably make an acronym. It'll
yeah,
be kind of fun.
yeah. We got to be careful on some of these acronyms. Anyway, again, FR Racing Online. Thanks for following. Our Instagram's been on fire. Our TikTok is really picking up. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Good time.